Hello and welcome back to another Swolosmo video. Today we're going to be going over how to run the aggressive catch glitch, why it's so good, what you need to run it, and the fundamentals of running it. Side note, Swolosabros is, I think, is the name I've decided on, but I saw someone suggest the Swoly Roly-Olies. Kind of liked it at first. I was like, it's kind of silly, but now it's kind of hard, so I'm thinking about it. But just leave your input in the comments. If you like Swoly Roly-Olies, I mean, I'll consider it, you know. Besides the point, let's get straight into what I love about this aggressive catch glitch, how to run it, what to run it against, who you need to run it, and everything you need to know about it. Let's begin. Okay, so the aggressive catch glitch, let's start from a couple things. Now, these are the fundamentals of the aggressive catch glitch. Number one, you need a receiver who is tall, so 6'2", 6'3 plus. You need a receiver who has high spec catch, which I think is also really important for hanging on to those high balls. And I also recommend high beat press. This is something that just beats shade underneath and shade inside, which is I guess a hard counter. I wouldn't say a hard counter. It barely counters it, but some people run shade down man to stop it, and it just makes it much easier for your receiver to just bypass the press. But that's basically it. The routes that are good on it, I think, are fades, streaks. Most routes are good on it. Post crossers are good, but most people are running them in the context of streaks and fades and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get into how to run it. So here I'm actually going to run gun doubles. It's really easy. I'm going to try to find a play with some stock streaks. Here we are. Gun doubles, 4 verticals. It really is that easy, and you're going to see in this video. So I'm going to come out on defense and let's go cover 1. Now, all you're going to do, now you notice I'm pressed here. So the thing is, when they press like this, your guys will be pushed at the line of scrimmage. You're going to want to throw it a little bit differently when your guys are pressed. So most people are pressing to counter this. So people see you're throwing this, they're going to start pressing. But let's just showcase what happens. So right there, you notice that he'll win off the press, and you're able to throw it I threw it a little bit too early there. But when they press, chances are you'll win off the press, and that's why I recommend that beat press stat, and you're able to get easy aggressive catches just like that one. So when you win off the press, despite pressing being the best thing you can do against this glitch, it doesn't really matter. All you have to do is just throw it up and outside and high ball. Similar to how it works, your corner on the other team has a higher chance of beating you or actually breaking it up. But once again, it's a very high risk counter because there's another chance where, let's say, I'm actually going to put him on a streak here and shade underneath. I think it might be the route. Yeah, there's the right example there. So usually, of course, I overthrow it, but usually they'll just cook off that press and you won't have to worry about really much anything. Now, what most people are doing when they're running man coverage is they're actually shading over top. So when they shade over top, what you're doing is you're looking for the corner to turn around. So as soon as his hips turn, you want to throw it between 10 and 11 o'clock. So I'm going to snap the ball here, and as soon as I see those hips turn, I'm highballing it, I'm agging right in front of him. So this is great because not only are you agging right in front of him, but you're catching the ball and securing the football before the corner can really even touch you. So I'm literally just jumping in front of him. And having that height, that spec catch, just allows me to get those good animations and not have to worry about jumping, 8 feet in the air and then getting hit on the way down. So if they shade outside, this is another press technique that they'll try to do. So he actually got pressed at the line, but you'll notice that I'm actually able to throw that. I'm overthrowing it. This is just kind of throwing streaks normally. You won't lose these animations really ever. So like right there, that was just a shade outside. As long as you have someone with good beat press like Mike Evans, if they shade outside, it's still really easy for you to ag it. But let's say they are pressing you and they're doing it fairly well. So let's consider that for a moment. So I'm just going to spy this safety, spy this safety, spy these guys, and we're going to go one-on-one with Kyle Rudolph and Derwin James. Now, you know that Kyle Rudolph is not going to get pressed in this instance. So when your opponent is utilizing press defense and for some reason your guys can't get off the press, you just want to perform the egg glitch on the tight end or someone who's not getting pressed off the line. So right here, it'll be a one-on-one. As soon as those hips turn, I'm throwing it. And right there, that's Kyle Rudolph on Derwin James. So remember, you're throwing it up and outside once those hips turn. So I'm going to show the instant replay here and show you when I threw it. So here's Kyle Rudolph just on a normal streak, and this is against shade out, shade up. It doesn't matter because he's not getting pressed. So as soon as I see those hips turn, and that's as soon as Derwin turned, I wait about half a second. I didn't even wait. I just threw it. As soon as the hips turned, I throw the football, and you jump and egg in front of him. This is what it looks like 90% of the time against most of your opponents online. So this safety will be turned around. He won't be able to react to the ball. He doesn't even look at the ball. He's staring at the... If you know anything about Derwin James, he's staring at the apartments, you know? The apartments are maybe behind here. Maybe there's some real estate over there. But that's where he's staring, and you're catching it for an easy gain against man coverage. It's a really cheesy way to get easy yards against man. So now, this is also really important. I'm going to respot the ball to the short side of the field. So if I am targeting a receiver, so I'm going to target Chris Godwin on this next little piece here. And for me to target him, I need to be on the short side because the ball needs to be in the air for as little as possible. The reason Kyle Rudolph was so easy is because he was right in the middle of the field, and Mike Evans had he was just a dominating receiver. But when you're playing those equal matchups like Chris Godwin versus J.C. Jackson here, it becomes a little bit more difficult because the guy will be a little bit closer to the ball. But shade it up, you wait until his hips turn, click on, and egg. Just like that. So you'll notice when I turned, you'll notice where J.C. Jackson was facing, and you'll notice what happened after the play. So all I'm doing is waiting for the hips turn, and you see I'm going to throw the football. Up and outside, so in this case, it was at about 1 or 2 o'clock between then. Or between there, then I say because it's time, but between there. So up and outside of the receiver, all you're going to do is jump in front, and there's Chris Godwin. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know where the ball is. He's thinking about, who is this? Tranquil? I don't know. There's no names on the back. That sucks. He doesn't know what to think about. This is your opponent. This is really a metaphor for your opponent and how they're going to feel after you ag them, and therefore inside shades don't work. So let's do it one more time. On the short side of the field, wait for his... There we go. This is one of my favorite animations because it feels like your opponent has a chance, but they have no chance. All I'm doing is as soon as those hips turn, just throwing that ball up and outside, clicking on, and aggressive catching it. He's literally just trying so hard to stop it, and he can't. And Chris Godwin's not even a tall receiver. He's actually 6'1". He's not even one of the receivers I'd recommend running it with. Now, I could also throw it to Russell Gage here. Let me just make sure there's not double coverage. If they double cover the receiver, you'll have another receiver. That's the one thing about that. But let's try Russell Gage here. The hips turn, and I'm able to ag right in front of him. That's 3-4 in a row. And this is how Jacoby was able to make $1,000 and how everyone is dominating man coverage, either purposefully or not purposefully. That's the method to do it. Now, I do not want to ramble on any further. I hope you guys enjoyed. Get on to egging your opponents. Do it now. Do it while it lasts. To be honest with you, I don't think they're going to add a fix to this. This method will always be really good for the entirety of Madden 23. The only patch that they could implement is decreasing the general effectiveness of aggressive catches. So if your guys get touched, they might drop it. But to be honest, I don't see them being able to fix this. If anything, you're just going to counter this, people are just going to have to run a lot more zone on you and double cover receivers. So this is the most fun way to play Madden, and I'm introducing it to you. So make sure to abuse this aggressive catch. Make sure you got the right personnel on the field, height, spec catch. Make sure you're throwing it in the right areas of the field, the short side, middle, not really forcing it to the wide side, and trying to identify what presses are going on. If they're pressing you, you do want to just wait and throw it over the top. And if they're not pressing you or they're shaded over top, you throw it when those hips turn. Now, you guys have a wonderful day, and leave a like if you enjoyed, and hit that sub button even more so. I believe right now we're at about 730, so pop out. We're trying to get that 1K subs. We're trying to pop out, get out those good tips. You know what I'm saying. Have a great day.